everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Simply Jessica here today with two very easy peasy Halloween DIYs. Now you guys know I am not real big into Halloween, but I figured we will do at least two Halloween DIYs. One, we are going to be using this pool noodle and these flexible cutting mats. Now, these pool noodles are still at every single Dollar Tree I've ever been at. So you should be able to find them. This is what I'm hoping at least, right? I know I was able to find them. And what we're going to be doing with this pool noodle, now I already cut a bunch of them off. So we're going to be cutting little sections like this. Not real wide. I would say like a ½ inch here. And we're just cutting. I just use a regular knife here and we're just going, and I'm not gonna cut a bunch of these because I already did. So I'll show you. So like about a ½ inch, and you're just gonna cut down. And you're just gonna cut a bunch of these off like so. Once you cut them into your little circles, you're just going to cut them in half, like so. And that's all you're gonna do. And you're gonna want a bunch of them. Not sure exactly how many, to be honest to you, but that is all we're gonna do. And to be very honest, I just cut the entire, because I had two pool noodles, I just cut the entire one. So, just to make sure that I had enough. With that being done, I have them all on the floor back here. There's, see, a bunch of them. We're just gonna push those over to the side here. And we're gonna get out one of our flexible cutting mats here. I think you get two. Yep, you get two in each one. Excuse the noise. And we're gonna pop one out. And all we're going to do, excuse me, is roll it into a cylinder. Like so. Just like this. Just roll it into a cylinder. We're going to throw some hot glue on here. Like that. Fold it over. And just hold that on there for a minute or two, whatever it takes for it to cool. And that is all we're gonna do with this part. When I tell you, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, it really is. Get that on there. Just making sure I get it on pretty good. Just like so. And now we have, let me tilt you a little bit, this nice round cylinder. That's it, right? And this is where we're gonna take all of our little pieces we just cut of our styrofoam. We just scoot that over there to the side. And we're just gonna add a little bit of hot glue on each end. And we're gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna start in the back here. We're gonna start in the bottom and we're just gonna push that on there. Just like so. And we're just going to keep going. And you're going to lay the next one right next to it. Just like that. And we're going to go all the way around the bottom. Okay, now that you have, excuse me, the bottom layer on, we're going to start the second layer. When you start the second layer, we're going to go the opposite, not the opposite, in between the two that are already on there. So do you see? So we're gonna go in the middle and add them all around. So just again, your little bit of hot glue here. And we know, the pool noodles, for whatever reason, take a little bit to kind of cool. So you get them on there and you need to kind of hold it still because it likes to be a little difficult with actually cooling. and then you just lay them on in between, like so. Like I said, you're gonna have to hang on to these guys just for a minute. So you're gonna go just in between the two that are already there, and we're gonna go all the way around. Okay, so our second row is on here, and as you can see, it's just like they all kind of alternate here. So when you start your third one, you're gonna go back and you're just gonna again go in between the two that are already there. And we're gonna just do that and go all the way up. Okay, so I'm a little bit over halfway, just wanted to check in with you. And this is how it's starting to look. So you can see it's just kind of every other one, every other row is different. So kind of maybe looks woven maybe, I don't even know if that's the right word to use. But yep, I'm still just putting along here and getting them all put on. So this is what we've got so far. A little over halfway there, just gonna keep going. Okay, so that took, I would say, close to an entire pool noodle. I have some left here. I have some left on the floor back there. You could probably see it. Almost the entire thing, but this is what it looks like completely done. How cute already. So what I'm going to do is actually take this outside and I'm going to spray paint this with a matte black spray paint that I did get from Walmart for $5.98, I think it was, $5.68, something like that. So I'm just gonna take this outside and I'm going to spray paint this, let it dry, and I'll be back. Okay, while that is drying, we are gonna move on quickly here to project number 2. My table is a mess. I've got to clean this off. We made a mess. I got glue stuck everywhere. Anyway, these 2 little wire trash cans from the Dollar Tree. They do sell them in white and they do sell them in black. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the white one, so I did just spray paint mine black. That way I had black ones because that's what I needed. Oh, this poor table. Anyway, so this little Halloween figure thing I want to make is so easy and so cool. And please do not mind the mess in the background here. I've got a heck of a mess going on. As you can see, it's everywhere. Anyway, taking the 2 black trash cans, they're just the wired ones. Oh, you can see some that I missed, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Look at that. It's hard to see unless the light's in it. Anyway, our little black trash cans, pretty much, we're gonna take, and then we're going to take this really cool skeleton we have, and he's just gonna go inside. And we're just going to place him in, like so. And I know you can't really see right away. I'm gonna lift it up. And we're gonna actually start with the top. It does have this little elastic tie here that we are going to stick through the top of our trash can here. Getting it in there, just so he's in there and he can hang there. I'm just going to tie a little knot so it doesn't come tumbling out. Just like that. And that way we can use this to hang, or I'm going to show you what else we're going to do to make it hang. And then, so we're going to, oh, it came untied. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Let's stick that back in there. My goodness gracious. Oh, that's because I'm silly. All I did was knot it and not actually pull it through. Oh my heavens to Betsy. Anyway, go in here and we're gonna stick this through here. Stick it back in. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, sorry. Then through the top there. So he will hang right inside. I'm gonna have to lift this and probably stand to do this part because it's gonna be hard to see. Okay, hopefully this helps a little bit. I gotta stand up here. But, so we have the first one tied on. We're gonna put the second one on the table. And we're just, I have to tie that better. I don't know what I'm doing, but I am not tying this right. The flaws, I tell ya. The flaws of the crafting world. Oh, and the sound of that on the table is going to drive me insane. Okay. Okay, got it back on. Jeez Louise. I'm getting, you see it all over me, right? From spray painting everything. Anyway, I'm gonna lift him up and it's going to go right inside of the second trash can. Now, what you could do if you wanted to is possibly add a little bit of hot glue to the feet. We want his head and his body to all face the right way. So you can add a little hot glue here at the bottom for his feet to kind of stay still, which makes it a little bit easier, and his hands as well. So I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue here. We're gonna get in here just so it kind of looks like he's like grabbing a hold of that, and hopefully that will stick pretty good. Just a little bit, right on the fingertips. And then we're gonna reach up here and just hang on. And this is why you gotta hang on, because the hot glue takes a minute to cool. I wish it was like cooled like that, you know? But we want to make sure it stays up there. And then the same thing on this side. I'm just gonna kind of hold them both at the same time as I burn my fingers. Because you guys know that I am great at doing that. It's so hard to get my hand to do what I need it to do right now. The other one's working good. Now we just got to let that one cool. Okay, so we got the hands where we want them to be. I'm actually not going to glue the feet. So you kind of have to bend him forward so his feet go to the front of the bottom trash can there. And he's just going to kind of hang out in there. And then what we're going to do, now you could hot glue them if you wanted to, but I'm going to just take some of these black zip ties and we're going to zip tie these two trash cans here together. I'm just gonna do, I think, maybe just one on each side here. Okay, so we're gonna do one on each side. Okay, so he is all zip tied together. I like using the black ones obviously because you can't really see them. Now to hang this, we are going to be using this chain here that you also get from the Dollar Tree. And we are going to attach it here to the top using zip ties as well. You're going to want to get that in there and just zip tie this to the top. Like so. And I'm doing it like across because I have two of them. So I want to put both of them on there. Just turn it, sorry. Like that. Cut off your excess here. You probably are having a hard time seeing what I'm doing, so I will just kind of bend this down so you can see. Just like that. I went diagonally this way, and then I have 2 chains. And we're gonna go the opposite way with the other ones. So again with the zip ties here. So far not giving me, oops. I said so far not giving me a problem, but then there it fell. Just gonna slide that back through. And we're just gonna zip tie these 2 sides on. Again, just cutting off the excess there, and then we will get the last one on the last side. My heavens. My heavens to Betsy. Just like that. I did just kind of push this over a little bit, but so now we have both the chains here. And now what we're going to end up doing is, I know you cannot see that, but we have both the chains here. And I'm going to just add a zip tie. So I'm pulling it up. I know you cannot see this. Hold on. Woo, hello. Pulling this up, all the way up. Just got to straighten them out here so they go all the way up. And then I'm going to just take one more zip tie here. Find the middles. That's not a good one. And we're going to go through the 2 that connect at the top. And we're going to add a zip tie. We're not going to close it all the way. Just enough to be able to use it to hang. And we're just going to cut off the excess there. Now the easiest thing for me to do is find somewhere to hang this, because it's going to be very hard for me to continue to pull this up so you can see it. But I'm going to put it to the side here, and I will add it to the end of this video. We're going to go, now that project number 1 is probably dry, we are just going to put this guy down to the side and go on to project number 2 until that's done, and then I will show you both of the end products at the end. All right, let me just get some of this stuff out of the way. I cannot wait to show you this vase that we made here, now that it's spray painted. Look at this guy. How cute is this? Seriously, I love this. Now, of course, because it is spray painted, excuse me, it is spray painted. My goodness. You can spray paint this any color that you want. It does not have to be black. This is just my Halloween version of this DIY that I'm doing. So I took this. This is done. It is spray painted. It is gorgeous. But of course, I got to add a little Jessica touch to it. And we're going to add some bling. I have these little diamonds here that came from the Dollar Tree. I have a bunch of them. And what I'm going to do is, let me move this over so I can show you. Take a little bit of hot glue. The ones that I think are sticking out here, we're just going to add a little hot glue on it, take a diamond, and place it on. Okay. That is just a little hot glue. Get a diamond and stick it on there, just like so. And I'm just going to do all the ones that are sticking out. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look how stinking adorable this is. Of course, you know, I had to put the Jessica spin on it and put some bling because I love it. I love the bling, I love the glitter, but look how precious this is. So like I said, just the ones that are sticking out, and I didn't like directly put them straight up and down. I kind of tilted them to the side a little bit. So here was my other thing. I wanted to put Halloween flowers in the top. I realized I don't have any. I really thought that I did, but I do not. So I am going to use at least orange, okay? I meant to, not even I meant to grab some. I thought I had some. Like they have those really cool Halloween flowers that are black, purple. They have like purple skulls and stuff on it. That's what I really wanted. And unfortunately, I don't have any. So for the video purposes of a vase that we just made, and guys, how cool is this that we seriously just made a really cool vase out of a flexible cutting mat and a pool noodle. Seriously, I am like obsessed. So I'm just gonna find some orange flowers, orange leaves, some pumpkins, and that's what we're gonna, oh Jesus. Oh, I can't get that off. That is what we're going to stuff this with. But please just use your imagination of there being Halloween flowers in here because that was the actual plan. It's just not going to happen, okay? I'm going to stuff these in nicely, and because I'm just kind of throwing them in there right now and you can barely see it anyway. So I'm going to just stuff these in nicely. I'm going to put these over in an area where you can actually get a better view, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so there it is. Again, please, please, please use your imagination that there's Halloween flowers in there, okay? I put a little ghost next to it. And I also wanted to point out, obviously, with the flexible cutting mat thing that we used for the base, you can obviously make this as wide or as thin as you want. You could cut some off of it, make it shorter. You can make a couple of them, whatever the case may be. In all honesty, this was not bad. One little trick that I might tell you, as I got towards the top, I started to hot glue the actual pool noodle, the bottom of the pool noodle, to the row below it instead of trying to get it to stick to the cutting board, the cutting mat thing. Because that way it gave it time to just kind of sit on itself and dry as you moved along instead of having to hold it the entire time. So there was a little quick lesson learned. But other than that, it came out so stinking cute. I absolutely love this vase. So again, you can cut it, you can make it shorter, you can make it thinner, you can make it fatter, however you want to do it. Again, please use your imagination as far as the flowers are concerned. Other than that, I think it came out absolutely adorable, and I hope you do too. I just have to find somewhere to hang our skeleton friend, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so there it is. I absolutely love this in a scary, spooky Halloween type of way. But look how cute. I liked it because they had the different colored skeletons, and I decided to go with like the more colorful one. I thought you were going to be able to see it better if some light hit it. Also, you could maybe add a light if you wanted to, but anywho, oh my goodness. And yes, I still have Christmas garland on my banister there. But so super easy and so super spooky Halloween adorable. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, like I said, I love it. I hope you guys do too. Thanks for joining me for 2 wonderful little Halloween DIYs. And until next time, bye now.